Team, welcome to 3 Motorsport. I'm Clint Brown. Glad you could join us tonight. And coming up, we've got round 2 of the World Rally Champs from the ice and snow of Sweden and round 3 of the New Zealand Street Skills Champs from Otago. And good news too for Kiwi motorheads. Subaru have announced 3 times New Zealand winner Colin McRae of Scotland will return in August for the smoke-free Rally of New Zealand. And Sweden's Kenneth Eriksson will partner McRae in the 2-car Subaru team. So that's great stuff. And you too can be a winner with 3 Motorsport. Each week we're giving away a $1,000 smoke-free Rally of New Zealand prize pack. Plus, all the entries go into the draw to win a sensational Suzuki Baleno GTX. And our first winner is... Now, let's check out how you can win. Tonight's prize is the Ultimate Rally Spectator Kit, valued at over $1,000, consisting of the Hella Power and Light Kit, a Hella Endurance battery, and a pair of Comet 500 driving lights. New Zealand Street Skills Rally Championship gear with Polar Fleece, gear bag, water bottle and cap. The Metro Group phone kit, consisting of a Motorola phone, 3 months free rental and a $50 Metro phone card. A gold spectator pack for the 1997 Smoke-Free Rally of New Zealand, comprising of gold pass, kit bag, official program and maps, cloth badge, posters and stickers. And all calls go into the draw to win this exciting Suzuki Baleno 1.8 GTX hatch, featuring CD player, ABS, dual airbags, stylised body kit and alloy wheels, valued at $26,000 on the road. Just call 0900 6556 and answer this week's question. What make of car does Colin McRae drive in the World Rally Champs? Children ask your parents first. Calls cost 99 cents per minute. So good luck with your chance of winning with 3 Motorsport. Well, round 3 of the New Zealand Street Skills Championship, the Rally of Otago, was the first chance for all the top drivers from both the North and the South Island to get together. Defending champion Joe McAndrew was back with a new Subaru Impreza. Also moving into the Group A scene from Group N, Canterbury's Greg Graham and another Subaru. So the battle had been fuelled between the Subarus and the Mitsubishi Lancers. We're talking about the Evo 3s and the Evo 4s. The Street Skills Championship, round 3 in Dunedin, and joining the new Evolution 4s, Joe McAndrew returned with a new car and a new sponsor. He had missed round 1 of the championship, but a win here would put him back in the running for another New Zealand title.
Well, we just want to keep running at the top in New Zealand, and you know, a few people out there try and knock us off, so we're the ones to aim for. So we've got a new car here and a new flash paint job and Fleet Link behind us, so we're feeling pretty confident there. We've got good backing and now someone to work for.
Now the old Legacy was a big car, you had to throw it around. What about this one, a tidier drive?
Well, I've driven it very shortly at a rally sprint, very short, and I found the thing really tail happy, so I don't know, this one could be more tail happy than the Legacy, you know.
I can't imagine you driving a car that isn't tail happy, Joe.
Yeah, well, that's really what it's about. I'm an entertainer and I'm out there to go and throw the car around as best I can and drive it as quick as we can.
Last week we saw the New Zealand debut of the Mitsubishi Evo 4. At Dunedin, Rally Art New Zealand was showing off their car.
The car was finished on Saturday. Sunday we did 100 Ks of testing in Maribyrnong, and it felt really good. Really happy with it. It's a whole different car, obviously, and different characteristics. So we don't know how quick we're going. We won't know until we can compare times with the other guys, and that'll happen tonight and tomorrow, I guess. But no, very happy with the car.
And Greg Graham had finally got his Group A spec Possum Bourne built Subaru Impreza to the start line.
To be competitive, obviously, and but I haven't actually driven the car in true Group A form yet, so it should be a bit of a learn. I think the first 4 stages tonight, I think I'll just behave myself.
Jeff Argyle takes us on a ride around Stage 1, a short 4-lap circuit around the warehouses. Greg Graham shared the win with Brian Green in his Evo 4. Now the rally wouldn't be won here, but it could be lost. Ramsey drove only 3 laps before stopping and having to do another lap. It cost him 45 seconds and the chance of exclusion for passing twice through a control point. The rally used roads on the southern coast before returning to Dunedin for the overnight halt. Saturday would see a mixture of fast public roads and twisty forest stages. Greg Graham took the lead on stage 2, despite nearly turning off onto the wrong road. McAndrew was next, but he was suffering from a slipping clutch. There was no service until after the next stage, so he would have to nurse the car and hope it could be fixed. Ross Meekings had led this rally in 1996 before crashing. Once again, he was charging. Third equal here. Marty Rostenberg led the championship at the start of the rally, but a small mistake on stage 2 would drop him down to 8th place on the road. The damage was light in the car and didn't seem to affect his confidence.
Yeah, we went off in stage 2, tightening right-hander, and the back of the car came out and clouted the bank and did a bit of damage there, but nothing too serious, didn't slow us down very much.
Rhys Jones was easing into his new Evo 4, not yet having the confidence with the car to charge for the lead. But Todd Bowden in his Group N Evo 4 was right on the pace. Third equal on this stage, he would maintain that pace throughout the rally. John Silcock was the leading South Islander, but a gear selection problem was beginning to occur in his Mazda. Stumpy Holmes' Group N Impreza seems quiet on the smooth gravel, but on stage 3, he's right on the move, making up 8 places to 7th overall. But his headlights tell a sad story. First, it's Joe McAndrew, stopped halfway up a hill. His clutch burnt out. Then, Rhys Jones, stopped by a blown turbo hose. Jones would repair the car overnight and then run it as the 000 course opening car on the Saturday. So after stage 3, it's Graham in the lead. Jeff Argyle is 36 seconds behind, with Marty Rostenberg a further 5 seconds down on him. But there are ominous signs for Graham as steam escapes from the engine at the service point.
I've been absolutely giving it heaps. Yeah, I hope they don't check the, has it got a tailcoil on the, yeah, if they check it, it's around at 8.
The battle for Formula 2 once again featured Stu Warren and Dean Buist in the Toyota Corollas. Warren was the fastest in the night by just 7 seconds. Buist seemed more cautious, maybe waiting to charge in the daylight. Long-awaited showdown with Daihatsu didn't eventuate when Dave Strong had gearbox problems on stage 3, losing a minute. Also in trouble, Jason West, whose Corolla was struggling through the stage with a flat tyre.
We come over a brow, the right-hander, didn't quite get round it, straight through a fence. Just got tangled up in the fence and couldn't get out, flat tyre. Thought we'd drive out rather than stop and change it.
Only 2 Suzuki Velenos came south, Paul Fredrickson taking a cautious start in his Datacom car. While Grant Aitken was welcoming the chance to run on the roads of his old hometown. In the Street Skills Challenge, Ashton Wood had his escort in front, while Chris West was putting up another strong challenge for the Street Skills Scholarship. Stage 4, Greg Graham's brakes glow red, but his engine is terminal. This would be the end of his rally. That put Jeff Argyle into the lead as the cars headed back to Dunedin. The view from Marty Rostenberg shows the tough nature of the stage, which would once again be used at the end of the rally. A traditional Dunedin send-off from the Octagon as the competitors faced 8 more daylight stages. Now Dunedin is famous for its fast open roads, which suddenly change in character. Drivers have to be ready for sudden surprises, even in Jeff Argyle's case, the occasional wildlife. Stage 5 and 6 saw the lead seesaw between Argyle and Rostenberg. Here on 5, it was Rostenberg who was throwing the car into the corners.
And it's really fast, and we're throwing the car sideways into the corners in 5th gear and just standing on it and hoping that we've got enough grunt to pull out. So yeah, it's good fun. Jeff and I are having a ball.
Todd Bowden had moved up to 3rd place. The Evo 4 seemed well suited to the conditions.
Good roads, still dangerous, you know, still crests and still lots of traps though. But because you're going, you know, flat 5th, you can do it at 100, top of 175 in that stage there, you know. And woo, look out! So lots of fun though, you know, excitement. We got you know, Marty by 2 on that last stage, and Reese, I think Ross did a 48 and we did a 11th. So that's right.
For John Silcock, there was frustration as his 2nd gear became unusable, but he was still holding 4th place.
It's not going to go away, it's not going to get any better. We've just got to make the most of what we've got, and unfortunately there's a few times we could have used it in the last stage. We've dropped some time, but overall I'm pretty happy with the way we're going actually.
Chris West has been a sensational addition to Street Skills rallying, 2nd fastest here in his 1800cc Lancer. But Barry Robertson was the real sensation, fastest on both stage 5 and 6 in his Pulsar. Ross Meckings was losing ground with a spark plug problem, which would get worse through the stage. Stumpy Holmes held 7th and was the first Subaru in the field. Craig Marshall was making a move up after a cautious start of the night. Chris Ramsey had plenty of time to make up after his stage 1 disaster, and here, well, he just pushed it a little too far. Service of Lawrence, and Argyle cruises through with no problems, but only a 5-second lead. Rostenberg is also having no trouble after his stage 2 off. He's second, but Ross Meekings has dropped to 7th place.
Well, actually, we dropped a spark plug in the second stage this morning, and unfortunately it was a 17k long stage, and we only did 4k's on 4 cylinders and the other 13k's on 3, so I think we dropped about 30 seconds in there. It's put us behind the 8 ball a wee bit, but it just makes it interesting for the afternoon, doesn't it?
Stage 7, now Gull is on a charge. These wide country roads are ideal conditions for the Evo 4. He's able to keep the car on the smooth, straight path and wins the stage. Held second place here, but you can see how hard he's trying. But listen too to the encouragement from co-driver Jeff Judd as the road tightens up.
Left 6 through the intersection. Lovely stuff.
Wow! Ross Meekings is running on 4 again, trying to make up time, but it was obvious that he was never going to make the corner. Well, obvious to everyone but our cameraman Pete, that is. That was close, and yep, the former champ Brian Stokes was enjoying our performance. You could say he was stoked. Now check out Barry Sexton. Perfect lines through the corner on his Subaru. But it was Stumpy Holmes, Group N version, which was still the lead Subaru, now 6th overall. Ramsey had made steady progress and was now 4th overall. John Silcock was still trying hard to stay with the leaders, but would crash out on stage 8. Ashton Wood was looking for a good finish in the ex-Brian Stokes Ford Escort, but here he was still only the 3rd South Islander, 12th overall. Todd Bowden had been surprised at his early pace and was now closing to within 3 seconds of Rostenberg. And also closing, Craig Marshall, up to 5th overall. Brian Green is leading Group A in the championship, but had a slow start in Dunedin. Peter Day was having a good run on his Impreza, but how's this? He nearly cleans us up again. Lee Marston is another mainlander. He's taken up the Street Skills New Zealand Championship, but his race would end further down the road with a barrel roll. Formula RD2 battle still raged between Warren and Buist. For Stu Warren, this was good experience for his forthcoming drive for Kia in China. But the real pleasure was finally getting the better of Buist.
It's the first time any pressure's gone on it for a couple of years, and first time we run decent tyres on the car, so yeah, it's good going good. We've got a wee bit of time on it now, so that today it might be different. We'll just see how it goes.
You can see the determination in Dean Buist as he pulls out an 8-second lead over Warren on this stage. In the Belenos, it was a case of novice caution over experience. Paul Fredrickson was coming to grips with the high speeds of these open roads, while Grant Aitken was enjoying pushing his red baby to the limit. Dave Owen had the points lead in the South Island Street School Scholarship and was still on target to take it away on this rally.
4 Ks to the finish.
But at the front, Marty Rostenberg was about to find out about those deceptive Dunedin corners.
Keep it up. Yeah, keep going. Go. Just back around that way, that's it.
So Argyle stays in front, but Bowden's now second. Rostenberg third, but slipping back to Ramsey and Marshall. Stumpy Holmes meanwhile loses 6th place to Chris West. Stage 9, and Jeff Argyle is flying. In just 2 rallies, he's quickly come to grips with the Evo 4, but the car still has some teething problems.
I have a little bit of a problem in there. Had a little bit of a misfire, so I've gone onto the lower boost again. As soon as we went onto that, it went away. So.
A huge crowd is enjoying the mild Otago weather as Todd Bowden stormed through, maintaining 2nd place. Chris Ramsey now has the lead in his sights after Friday's disastrous start. He's just 5 seconds away from Bowden, but the possibility of exclusion still overshadows his drive.
You're really pushing your way up the field now, Chris.
Yeah, I think we are. Not intending to be there, but we just want to try and give it our best and see where we go.
And after leading earlier in the day, Rostenberg is struggling to make up the time lost in stage 8. There is a suspicion too of an engine problem, but the team keep on going as hard as they can. But Craig Marshall now looks to be threatening Rostenberg, closing in 10 seconds at the end of stage 10. Another team doing well is Lewis Scott and Jane Black. Their aging Evo 1 Lancer is right on the pace, and they move from 9th to 5th by stage 10. Barry Sexton is still the lone Subaru among the top 10 cars, sitting in 7th place. Mike Turfus is the top Otago driver in 8th spot, and with a little local knowledge, he's putting on a great display for the crowd. West was still charging, but this would be his last stage, stranded with broken wheel bearings on stage 10. Stumpy Holmes was making up good time on stage 9 when this happened. They were forced to stop and change the tyre, but drove on, inspired to win stage 10. Formula 2 battle was going back to Stu Warren, now holding a 20-second lead after Bewis had an off-road excursion. But the yellow Corolla was still there, waiting for any mistake by Warren to get back in front. Dermot Martin was in third place in Formula 2, happy to let the two Chargers out front take the risks. Dave Strong was making a recovery after his gearbox problems of the previous night. In the Belenos, Paul Fredrickson was again being pressured by Grant Aitken. Aitken's experience really showing through, and he would go on to take maximum points again. David Owen took out top points in the Street Skills Scholarship, which will now take him to the Smoke-Free Rally in August. Meanwhile, Ramsey had pushed in front of Bowden by the penultimate stage. Rostenberg had dropped back to 5th with the engine low on boost, but he still collected valuable points. Those points went up when Craig Marshall crashed out in the final corner of the rally and dropped out of 4th place. Another in trouble was Mike Turfus. His car had a slowly deflating front tyre, which ultimately caused him to crash out on the last corner as well. Brian Green came through in 5th, having overtaken Lewis Scott, whose gearbox had expired over the last 2 stages, dropping him back to 9th. Stumpy Holmes finished 8th, but collected 3rd in Group N. Peter Day in a Group A Subaru was 7th overall. And Ashton Wood finished 6th and first Mainlander home, also taking the lead in the Mainland Series. Barry Sexton had moved into 4th by the rally end, despite a broken exhaust. And Todd Bowden had his best finish, winning the Group N class and finishing 2nd overall. Jeff Argyle had driven well, but was pipped across the line by Ramsey in the finish. However, as expected, Ramsey was disqualified for his first stage error, but he had still proved the point.
First win for an Evolution 4 in New Zealand. You must be happy with that.
Oh yes, it's a very positive way to start our national championship after the disappointment in Gisborne. You know, we've got to get more speed. It's down to that. If we play around with the diff a bit and get myself into the gear a bit more, we'll be right.
So Marty Rostenberg retains the championship lead as well as Group N. Brian Green is first in Group A, but look at the battle between Argyle and Sexton. Grant Aitken is the clear leader in the Suzuki Belenos.